What is going on, guys? All right, welcome to the first virtual Kinstretch class. All right, so today we're gonna work on the hips, we're gonna work on the knees, all right, and then we're gonna bring this together in an integrated movement pattern to now train some of that mobility that we just got with our other exercises. First thing we're working on is hip internal rotation. So that's the ability for your hip to rotate inwards this way. This is a movement that is critical for having good, strong, healthy hips and having great performance on the field or on the court. If your hips have the capacity and are strong in this range of motion, it's probably gonna be a lot easier to do your lifts and then also easier to do everything that you need to dominate in the field or court. All right, so I'm gonna be in a bear sit position to start, which is just with the legs out here. My knees are more or less at 90 degrees, feet are just kind of open this way. All right, I have my other hand back here for support, doing your best to sit tall. Then from there, I'm gonna take this leg and rotate my hip in. I like to think about if I was gonna try to Velcro the inside of my leg to the floor, that's how I'm getting stretched. My foot, I'm gonna roll onto the inside of the leg there. However, you're more than welcome to adjust your foot so that you don't get any discomfort on the inside of the knee. I also want to make sure that you don't get any discomfort on the inside of the hip, so like a pinching feeling. If you are getting either one of those things, you can just back or stretch up a little bit, or just wait until we hit the next move. So from there, keeping your hip on the floor, I'm gonna now use my right hand to press my right inside of the leg down to the ground, and I should get a stretch deep, kind of in the back, or maybe on the side part of the hip. It might be difficult in this one to figure out where you're getting the stretch, but if you feel somewhere deep in the hip and it doesn't feel like a pinching on the front, all right, you probably are getting a good stretch here. So I'm gonna hang out here passively for probably another 20 seconds. Then we're gonna get into some active strengthening in our stretch position. Make sure when you're holding these stretches, think about just breathing, trying to be nice and relaxed. When we do stretching, we want to make sure that we are in a relaxed position, not stretching so far that we got to tense up, right? All that, our tissues and muscles and all that stuff isn't really going to relax. You're all tensed up. All right, so now that we've held this position for about a minute or so, now I'm going to do, like I said, some active strengthening. So for that, I'm going to try to open my leg up back in the direction that I came from the stretch. However, my hand isn't going to make that happen. So we're doing an isometric contraction. This is called PAILS. All right, it's an acronym. And what this is gonna do is, like I said, strengthen in this position, but also all the stuff that we feel stretching, we're also building, making sure that those muscles, tissues, all that stuff in your body is strong as well too. So I'm gonna start pushing back into my hand. Again, hand is not letting me move. From here, we're gonna go for about 40 seconds, gradually ramping up. As you start to increase that contraction, think about tensing your body up just a little bit more. Now that we're out of our stretch position, we do want to be active, right, and tense through our entire body. Go about another 15 seconds, really start to make that leg heavy into your hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna go the other way. So now without pushing more with my hand, I'm gonna now actively try to rotate the inside of my leg down more to the floor. So now I'm gonna try to actively go in this stretch, and I might either feel the muscles contract a little bit on the front side, not pinching, but a little bit front, or maybe muscles on the inside of the leg, and I might feel that stretch start to increase. Again, just make sure that we're not stressing the inside of the knee, that we're feeling this in the hip. We're targeting what we want to. From here, we'll go about 20 more seconds. Again, just trying to rotate that leg down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna go round number 2 here, okay? So hand goes back, we're finding our stretch, and now we're gonna start to push back into your hand. Got about 20 more seconds. Keep pushing back into that hand. 10. And good, we'll go just a hard 20 seconds. Think about trying to Velcro the inside of that leg more down to the floor. Last 10 seconds, guys. Doing great. And awesome. All right, hang here, take a deep breath or two. And cool. Whew. All right, we have 2 legs, unfortunately. So we're going to the other side, all right, same exact position. We're now rotating that leg to the floor. All right, hand is back for support. You're more than welcome to adjust this leg if need be to find a more comfortable position. Our main goal is just targeting the hip. So from here, hang out probably another passively for about 30 seconds or so. All right, so now that we've done our passive portion, now we're gonna get into our active component of our stretch. So first thing, again, I'm pushing back into my hand. Hand is not letting that happen. Got about another 20 seconds. Last 10. Great, now we're going to try to rotate the inside of the leg away from my hand. So even though there's no movement, I'm trying to get this leg into the floor there. Got about another 15 seconds here. Doing great. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, passively, take a few deep breaths. All right, we have one more round of each here. All right, so first thing, I'm pushing back into my hand. This round, see if we can get to maybe a little bit greater of an effort. Just like other strength exercises with this mobility training, you can ramp up, there's varying levels. So if you're accustomed to this feels good. You can really push back into that hand. If this is new to you and this is kind of uncomfortable, you can just push gently. Don't have to go crazy in this one. Got our last 10 seconds if you can. I want you to really push back to that hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now inside of the leg is coming down to the floor. I'm gonna take my hand away. We're going hard, 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Love it. All right, guys, from here, next thing, we're gonna do some CARs, so controlled articular rotations. Now we just did some stretching and strengthening for the hip. Now these CARs or joint circles, we're gonna use that to save the work. So now we're actually gonna move our hip with a little bit of increased range of motion after doing the techniques that we just did. So for our side lying hip CAR, we'll be lying on our side. I want a nice long spine, right? Straight line from the ear, shoulder, through the hips. Knees at the level of the hips. Hands are clasped together, pin your shoulders to the floor and pin your bottom leg to the floor. All right, from here, we're gonna go 5 reps. First rep, bring that knee up to your chest, open that hip up. From there, rotate that leg in. That's the motion that we just stretched, kicking that leg past the body. From there, bring the knee back up, push back behind, leg straight out to the side, pull that heel forward, knee up, and down. All right, so that's 1 rep. We have 4 more going together. All right, guys, last rep. Woo. All right, love it. Great work. Other side. Same thing, crushing 5 big ones here. Hands out. Nice straight line. Doing your best to keep that trunk still so we're isolating the hip. Bottom leg is glued to the floor. You can lay your head on something if you need to. If not, just supporting it is totally fine. First rep, knee comes up, open, rotate that hip off behind you. Cool. Bring the knee back up, push back behind, straight out to the side. And then think of pulling that heel forward and back down. That is 1, we got 4 more. All right, guys, 1 more rep. Love it. Great work. Moving on to the next. All right, guys. Next thing we are working on is going to be the knees here. You might need a pillow or something soft. If not, if you're on a carpet like I am, that's totally fine. Or if you just got knees that don't like being on the floor for some time, a pillow might not be a bad idea. All right, so we're gonna be in a half kneeling position. All right, so I'm starting on my right leg here. Scoot back just a head. Right leg here, I want my knee right under my hip. Right, glute's gonna be tight. I'm gonna be nice and tall. All right, well, we're gonna work on some knee flexion and really some hamstring strengthening. But first, we're just gonna do a little bit to make sure that goes well. So from this position, right, squeeze your glute, hips should be forward, make sure we're not arching, right? You might get a pretty good stretch in that hip flexor here. If not, that's totally fine. So now what we're gonna do is think about trying to kick your foot into the floor. So we're actually gonna fire, right? We're gonna use our quad, our front leg stuff, right?
The reason we're gonna do this before we actually do our exercise is so that this stuff loosens up just a little bit, all right? So for about 30 seconds, I want you just to think about trying to kick into the floor with this back leg, thinking about squeezing your quad, and as you do so, keep that glute nice and tight and stay nice and tall. Got about 15 more seconds. And awesome. All right, so for the next portion of this, I'm actually gonna grab a chair. You might need something for a little bit of support. If not, that's totally fine. All right, so I got my chair in front of me for support. Again, if you need something, dowel will work. Holding on to something will work as well. So now instead of pushing down into the floor, we're gonna think about trying to lift our heel off, squeezing our glute. As we do so, we wanna make sure that we don't lean our body forwards, all right, or do any other thing to try to throw that heel towards you. If it only comes a little bit off the ground, that's totally fine. Everyone's range is probably gonna be a little different, right? We got 5 reps here, and we'll hold up for 3 seconds. So, squeeze your glute, hold on to your object, nice and tight to the trunk, and then lift that heel. 3, 2, 1, and back down. All right, if you're like me, and you almost just caught a hamstring cramp, all right, you did the exercise correctly. If you can, try to fight through that. We got 4 more. Squeeze, lift. Back down, love it, going again. Squeeze, lift. Back down, squeeze, lift. Last one here, guys. Squeeze, lift. And love it. All right, so going same thing. You know what, actually, let's stay here. Let's go one more set of that. Just a little bit of break. That is pretty challenging. Again, that crampy feeling that you might be feeling isn't a cramp like you've just been playing sports for hours. That's more just your hamstring being a little bit confused. We don't spend a lot of time strengthening our hamstring, in a short range of motion. So it's important that we do so because you will find your hamstrings need to work in that kind of position in sports, either on the field or on the court. All right, so we got one more rep here. All right, think about squeezing your glute, pushing that leg back. Hold on to your object, brace, lift. 3, 2, 1, back down. 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 One more rep here, guys. Brace, lift. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Cool. All right, going to the other side. Woo, that hamstring is feeling it. All right, so first, just find this position. You need some support. Again, use your object, squeeze that glute. You might get a nice stretch through the front part of the hip. If not, that's totally fine. All right, from here, first thing, we're kicking our foot into the floor, keeping that glute tight, staying nice and tall through our spine, so we're not either arching or rounding forward there, right? So I'm gonna start kicking my back leg into the floor. From here, right, should feel that front part of my leg, quad, hip flexor stuff starting to contract. I'll go about 20 more seconds. Last 10 seconds. And good. All right, so now I'm gonna go to the lifts. You'll see a bit difference. This is my bad side here, so my foot might barely come off the floor. That's totally fine if you're sort of in the same boat. Just the intent is what's important. If your foot can come all the way towards your glute, by all means, lift that leg up as high as you can. All right, so brace your object, squeeze your glute, squeeze nice and tight, and lift. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Woo. All right. If you're like me, fighting a hamstring cramp there, all right, see if we can go into our next rep. So, squeeze that glute, nice and tight. Lift. 3, 2, 1, back down. Squeeze. Lift. 3, 2, 1, back down. Squeeze. Lift. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Woo! All right, unfortunately, we are going 2 sets. So I'm gonna brace myself. I don't know if you guys, again, are in the same boat and dying here like I am. Part of this is a little bit uncomfortable, but just like our deadlifts, our squat, other things, if you want your body to adapt, you are really gonna have to work for it. So, right to our next set. Squeeze that glute, we're nice and tall here. Brace your body, lift. 3, 2, 1, back down. Squeeze, lift. 3, 2, 1, back down. Squeeze, lift. 3, 2, 1, back down. Squeeze, lift. 3, 2, 1, back down. We got one more rep here, y'all. Squeeze, lift. 3, 2, 1, and back down. All right, everyone, excellent work. We got one more thing left. All right, so last thing we got the hips rotating in and out there. Right, we worked on our knee flexing. We're gonna combine this together into a full movement. All right, so for this one, we're gonna go some lateral squat shifts. So working on moving side to side, now with some new range of motion. So for our lateral squat shifts, I want you guys to be outside of the shoulders, nice wide stance here. All right, so I'm gonna go to my right first. I'm gonna pull myself actively down into that lateral squat on this side, shift my weight back over to this side, and come back up. I'm gonna go 5, going kind of in a circle this way, right? Then 5 in a circle, coming back the other way. Hands are gonna be out. I want that chest to stay up. Think about pulling yourself down on this side. From there, staying low, shift your weight. Keep those feet connected to the floor. Push back up. Going again. Push yourself back. Even though there's no weight, think about moving as active as you can. Last one. Other side, guys. Two more. Last rep. Woo! All right, everyone. Excellent work. That was our first virtual Kinstretch class. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please follow along. Check us out for more classes. Have a good day.